Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the MEyou Music Podcast. Joining us this week is JJ Polachek. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Is that right?
It's even lazier than that. It's just Polachek. Like it's very
Polachek.
straightforward. Just
Uh,
Polachek. Just
JJ Polachek.
extremely straightforward.
Where's the name from?
Um, Everyone wants to say Polish because of like phonics, but it's actually Hungarian, which
Oh,
that's
cool.
not that crazy of a distinction, I guess. It's still European, but I think it's an interesting distinction because one of them is Pole. One of them is like Behemoth, and the other is like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'd rather hang out with one of those than the other. But you guys can, you know,
Oh yeah.
speculate that.
Do you live in Hungary?
Say that again.
Do you live in Hungary?
Oh, I don't know if I wish I did. No, I live in Florida currently.
Oh yeah.
But I try to travel about the country as much as I can. So, but yeah, I'm a Floridian. I consider myself a Floridian. I don't know if I would qualify as a Florida man,
I
because
was gonna
most of the
say,
weird stuff I do is, you know, across the country. But hey, I don't resent or I don't I'm not ashamed of the Florida man. I'm fine with that.
You
I
fully
accept
embrace
that's
it.
part of the identity. Yes.
Nice.
It's a
Nice.
part of, you can't have it all. You can't only have a good reputation. We live in a real world. Got to
yeah,
take the good and the bad. If you want the palms, you got to take the bath salt. Well, that's not really a thing anymore, but you get the gist.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, oh.
So, from
Right,
what
mate.
I'm
I
aware
love
of,
it. I love it.
from what I'm aware of, you're you work with three bands: 7horns7eyes, Nekroí Theoí, if I'm saying that right, and Skin Stripper.
Yes, that's correct. Nekrothé is the correct pronunciation of that. I know it's Greek. Well, according to Reddit, it's the correct way. Like we did as much due diligence as we could, given that we were just a bunch of guys in a band. Like, we're not
Yeah, yeah.
we're not fucking Indiana Jones over here. We don't know this stuff. But anyway, the point I'm getting at is it's not really much of a point. But anyway, it's just Necrothe,
Okay.
which
Okay.
is the closest we could get to figuring out what the Greek version of dead gods is.
It's
Anyway, yeah, that's all that is. But yeah, those are the main well, seven horns. I mean, each of those bands is their own topic because they're also I want things to be very different on purpose. Well, different to me. Other people
yeah.
might think it's all the same, but I try to keep things distinct.
Mm.
Going on tangents. Yeah, those are the
Answers
memory.
is fine.
You know,
You can jump away. We're here to just chat some shit. It's all good.
cool.
So
But
this morning,
Necrotay is funny. You have that as a different thing to like Polachek. So you've got like the actual like phonetics, and then you got one that is like it's just we're going polar opposites there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it only matters as much as we want it to matter, as much as we
Yeah,
care about keeping score, and that's half of the
yeah,
fun is being inconsistent with that too.
yeah, for sure. Man. You gotta love the fun inconsistencies that you can fuck with as an artist, man. Seriously, you
Ah,
gotta do it.
I mean, that's what that's the liberty. It's somewhat uh that's the risk you take because there's a better chance that everyone's gonna hate when you do something like that. But hey,
Yeah, no, for sure.
good
I get
stuff
that
comes
entirely.
from that.
Yeah. We kind of thrive off of that as a project, like, and individuals. We kind of just go, let's just fuck with some noise and then see what happens, and then boom, there you go. Enjoy, world.
We're just
Just
we're
All of
winging
my
life.
hmm
Yeah, we're winging it.
well, I was gonna say all my most profound influences were all the artists who were unafraid to just do something even if it doesn't totally work out,
yeah.
like they're fine with it, like they'll get the idea out there and it's like, yeah, this wasn't exactly how we imagined it, but we can do a better version of something similar, like whatever, like they're not afraid to fail, quote unquote, as much as you can in art. But yeah, and that's always been really crucial to me as far as like what's exciting about, I think, like the millennial generation of art and heavy music coming around, and
Mm,
the turn of the millennium with Photoshop blowing up and metalcore blowing up and mathcore and all that stuff, coinciding together. It all kind of had this culture of like, yeah, we might crash and burn. It might be sloppy and, like kind of scrapped together, but we're doing something exciting. We're doing something dangerous, and
mm,
that was like a formative thing for me. So I've sort of carried that mentality with me as like, well, yeah, that's like the draw to this. So yeah, I mean, even as something as simple as just like being inconsistent with how you choose to use rules and language and whatever, like to me, that's just sort of like, it's not like, oh, we're running the risk of dismantling this framework that we need to function. It's like, no, like we're doing the opposite. Like we're learning that, like, okay, we got really comfortable. Now we can do even more, actually. Now we can do stuff that we didn't think we could do, and we can handle it now. We can handle it. That's what I see it as, is it's not saying like, oh, I don't respect blah blah blah. It's saying like I respect it so much that, I want to add to it. That's how I
mm.
feel.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Like, I guess I don't know if you're into mathcore at all, but like, you've got Dillinger, which is definitely up there with that, like, level of kind of, here, look, we're going to do something absolutely insane, and we're going to keep doing it for 20 odd years, or 15, 20 years, and then just go, all right, I'm done now. Our bodies can't do that bit anymore. We'll do other shit and, carry on with our
But they
musical
didn't
career.
stop everything. I mean, that's a different point about the, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the shelf life of metal as a career, but or
Yeah.
music in general. But yeah, like my point is, like, yeah, you're right. They did that. They made that decision, and but there's still more to
Yeah.
do. It doesn't have to be Dillinger, and it doesn't even have to be less simple or less involved.
You
Into
got some
well, all of
people
that,
like
like, it comes into
you
it, right?
got you've also got like, let's say, Carbon, who are kind of getting like a
Mm,
pretty good name for themselves, considering the type of music that they're actually creating. And it's
They're like Super
messy.
Saiyan Namek.
Yeah, it's just absolutely
Like not the
nuts.
character Namek, the band Nemic, Mnemic. Like they're like, that's Carbomb is like that sound, that like Century Media turn of this millennium sound, but like on meth and
yeah.
ayahuasca or something.
Yeah, I'm a big
Oh,
fan. I find it very
oh,
entertaining hearing how absolutely crazy they go.
Yeah,
So talking about
they're
that, I
super
got
good.
to
Yeah.
they
I
are
just I
super
just
good.
wish more people would acknowledge bands that sound like that.
Frontiera. I'm all the way. Frontiera. Let's go. That's the way. That's the
You're
one.
a diehard
Look,
fan of
there's
Frontier.
there's a lot of good shit from that era that we took for granted.
Mm.
I will die hard on that. Yes.
Frontier is cool. They I always get them mixed up with this really tiny black metal band called
No.
Frontier that released one demo that I got really excited about. So I always anyway, but that's not really relevant. But if you're a black metal person and you want to hear something unique
Yeah.
and cool, look up the Frontier demo on
I'm
YouTube.
gonna look.
Frontier black metal. Just do
I
it.
want it
It's
now.
humble. It's beginning to end an idea
All right.
executed,
If we're gonna
like
go
a
into
vision
this,
executed.
if we're gonna, you're gonna have to look up what is it called? The Frontier, was it?
It's just Frontier, and they released
Front.
one demo. I think they're from the US. In like 2015,
What
I think.
what's the demo? Is it just called demo or something? Or...
It's just called demo. It's stupid. Yeah, yeah. I hate it when bands do this shit because they all think they're too good. Whatever. This is this band that I'm like talking how much I love, and it's like, yeah, I fucking hate these pieces of shit.
I
They
can't
they
find
crossed
them.
me by calling it just demo. I found
I
it on
can't.
YouTube. All right, I'm gonna. This isn't what.
You're
This is neither here nor there, but I'm just saying. I get excited about little. There's a lot of little projects like this that popped up over the years that I feel like, never got their due, and
I'm
I try and
sending.
bring them to the limelight. Not the limelight. I try and bring them, to people's attention, but never quite catches the
We are
grasp
the
as like Nirvana 2002 or whatever.
we are the limelight now.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Great. That's good. Yeah,
We're like
that'll be a great that'll work great. Anyway,
that'll green lime.
all right, I derailed this so far. Let's talk about something interesting to listen to, not just me talking about a band I
Well,
heard.
let's talk about
Just
your
talk
bands. Let's talk about how this morning I woke up and
Uh,
I had the pleasure of waking up to listen to Theoí and Skin Stripper. And
Nekroí.
Theoí and Skin
It's
Stripper.
fine, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Theoí and Skin Stripper. And I'd
Think
already
about
checked out Seven
necrophages,
Horns. Oh yeah, because like when I went to search for it, that's what came up anyway. I was like, oh yeah, it's very similar. Um,
Cool.
yeah, I've really enjoyed both of those. Skin Strip is hilarious, man. I love the samples that you taken and just these hilarious voiceovers.
Yeah,
The one with the president, it's like, what? He accused me of cheating with the president, and yeah, that whole little gag that you got going on there. It's a bit of a comic, like EP,
everyone, I feel like in heavy music for yeah. Well, thanks. But what I wanted to say is that I feel like in music, heavy music, like for the past like 2 decades or so, people are using kind of the same crop of sound clips, and they've been like just drawing from the same pool. Like it's all like all the brutal death bands just do horror or sci-fi horror. All
Mm.
the other bands like they only do like very prestigious movies that make you seem really smart if you say you like it. They won't do any movies that like you just enjoy watching like with your family or friends, and you don't have to like brag about it, like no one appreciates. So it's like, all right, look, I'm not writing a big grand concept album right now, so fuck it. I'm just gonna go to bat for all this shit that I feel like is severely underrated.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Jurassic Park movie everyone hates, whether whether which is this whole like I'm kind of not hijacking, but I'm kind of taking advantage of and exploiting my fellow Snyder fans who take it much more seriously than I do. So I'm trying to like bank on their just like rabid, mindless, whatever. Like, because a lot of those guys are like weirdo QAnon types too. So and like, I'm fine with loving Snyder and completely disavowing all that weird shit, but you know, they like I I'm getting ahead of myself.
Snyder.
I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Ooh, but okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm good. We're good.
The thesis here is that I just wanted to do a project where I could talk about stuff I liked that was fun, and I didn't have to like it didn't have to be a whole big epic vision. Fucking okay, hang on. I gotta let my cat in.
Damn cat.
Right. Oh, now you don't know? Yeah, okay. I put a lot of time into teaching you things that most people would be impressed to see, but whatever. Pearls before swine. All right. What were we talking about? Oh yeah.
Thesis.
I mean, it's like it's thesis. Yes, scene stripper. It's it's half comedy, half serious. Because like, it's not like I don't mean anything I say. I actually do like all this stuff genuinely, but also like I don't think that like the media that you consume has any reflection on like your worth or intelligence or intelligence. And so it's like, yeah, I'll just play around with it. I'll just be like, people think you're stupid if you like this shit, fine. I'll okay, so they're all ashamed to talk about how cool they thought this movie was. I'm not. I'm gonna be the guy who comes and says, "Hey, yeah, you like Rain of Fire?" Well, yeah, I mean, I never get to talk. It's like, we're talking about it
Let's go.
now. We're partying about it now. This is the time. You're safe here now.
Yeah.
You're safe because no one ever was safe. Because you were never gonna be saved by the movies you liked. That was never gonna help you. So you may as well like whatever you want.
It's definitely
Anyway,
it's different to the mainstream. You're not gonna hear this stuff as the backing track to a movie, or it's very unlikely. But for someone who is a fan of heavier
I'm
music, it's a pretty good selection that you've shouted out right there. There's a lot of slam influence. And Nekroí, if I finally got it right, that one, that seemed a bit more serious. It seemed like you were
oh yeah,
kind of
100%.
yeah, I could tell that. And that was really enjoyable to listen to. It was who's it?
Thank you very much.
Who would you say
Everyone put a lot of work into that, so
who would you say was a good influence for that band?
I didn't realize it at the time, but in hindsight, what I'm now realizing that was in our subconscious and just in our blood is cephalic carnage.
Oh yeah.
In terms of just the mixing of visions together, and they do it a little more chaotically than we do, I guess. And they're obviously less serious than us, but like in terms of just like that sense of like wanting to just kind of not everything, including the kitchen sink, but like kind of just like not seeing a limit. It's like, okay, yeah, we're brutal death metal, so like, are we allowed to do like a melodic doomy section? Like, is that gonna like alienate all the people who just want to hear disgorge riffs in like, at like 200 BPM or whatever? Like, like if people want to hear like 16th notes all the time, that's cool. I want to do that sometimes. That's why I listen to Disgorge and Deeds of Flesh and shit like that. But this is, for us, it's like this is
Yeah.
our band. We like listening to this very specific, very hyper focused stuff. But when it comes to music we want to play, there's a lot of different things we want to play. We don't just want to do simple Amy stuff. We do want to do that kind of progressive, technical stuff, and also atmospheric black metal influenced, post metal influence kind of things. You know, that's the idea, is that it's not so much about trying to achieve some sort of status quo uh bar, in terms of like speed or whatever. Like it was about like we have this idea for like the the attitude of a band that like no one that I that it was like sort of things we all wanted to do that we didn't think anyone was doing in our particular favorite style of music. We all love brutal death metal, but no one was really doing, no one was throwing like influences of like early 2000s metalcore and mathcore, and like really weird shit like Creationist Crucifixion, and like people, the closest people will get is like Converge or whatever.
Mm.
So we wanted to like dig in deep and pull out the things from our just our musical inspiration that like we felt were underrepresented.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt that way, and about everything I wrote, I know some of that was for the other guys. A lot of it was just riffs we'd had kicking around for a while too. I can't deny
Yeah.
that. And some of it was just me saying, all right, we need the album closer to sound like Ahab, so write a song that sounds like Ahab, and then that's what they gave me. So,
Are you guys? Is it like
um,
you know each other for a while? Or?
yeah, because it it came out of the fallout of Ovid's Withering, and then what it ended up being, like that version of it didn't really last that long. That was just like the premise, and then it turned into just like a conglomeration of just like friends who had known each other for like years and years and years, who had never actually all been in a band together,
I'm
finally working
pretty glad
together.
that that happened though, because that fallout was hard. I know that fallout was hard for like I'm sure it was for all of you, but
Yeah.
you guys have dealt with it like the best way you can, and you made some great music from it, so that's fucking great.
Well, thank you very
I
much.
appreciated the music when I heard it. I was like, wonder what JJ's doing these days. I looked over, I was like, who the fuck is this band? Like, it's just it was a good few years ago, but like, it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very proud of how well of everything we did with that album, and it was kind of insane to think about the fact that it actually worked and came into existence after all the trouble it took to even like compose it all. Like,
Mm,
so I listened to those songs and I'm like, how did we come up with like a 15-minute long song? How did like
yeah.
us guys who sit around just like talking about, bikers and truckers all the time, and uh I don't know. I mean, whatever.
It's
I'm just
It's funny you when you see something come to fruition, and then you go back to it, and you're like, "Oh, this is actually really fucking good." Like, sometimes it's just mad.
yeah, well, I was so close to it and I was so invested on making sure it sounded exactly like I imagined or as close to that as we could get. And now it's like I'm
Mm,
just happy that it exists, because now
yeah.
I realize how kind of against the odds logistically speaking it
Mm,
is to like get an album that's just that dense to even come together if it's not a 100% solo project.
yeah.
So I don't know. Being in a band now sucks more than ever. Like, it's not that music is worse, it just like the world is worse. So everything that used to be the saving grace, or like, well, this is what's gonna, like, now it's a part of, now it's like, oh, all right, all the
Yeah.
things that this used to be a reprieve from have creeped into the reprieve, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Everything. Yeah.
that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So anyone who releases anything, any sort of full length beginning to end album with like more than one person involved, I'm impressed by these days. I don't care if it's like super derivative or whatever. Like, if enough people could schedule it and agree on it and make it exist, then awesome. I'm proud of humanity for still being able to do that.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Definitely. I agree with that a lot. It's a very good point. Like, yeah, I think even getting two people together sometimes is just hard enough, isn't it? For anything, like it's yeah. I saw
Well,
you
so even a
yeah,
podcast.
we got three, but it took a little minute.
I'm glad we did.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah, but at least with a podcast, we can
uh,
do it remotely now. Whereas we don't have to
yeah,
fly you in from Florida to the UK and fly me from New Zealand and all meet in the middle place just for a
Yeah, or
talk,
just hope everybody catches each other at like a press event or something. That's
Yeah.
that's that's not a real thing in metal, but it actually it used to be when I was still in high school. Now it's gone. Now all the money's gone in metal, which is fine. Metal's
the
still
money
worth it.
money in music is hard to come by. Like it's
Yeah.
there, but it's hard.
Yeah, well, now more than ever, it's like you're like either doing this because you actually get something out of like doing it, like the act of doing it, or you either coasting on royalties or you quit. I don't know anyone who's like got delusions of like, yeah, metal, I'm gonna be able to just coast off of some trendy. It's a weirdly, like, it's more competitive in a more boring, tedious way than ever.
Mm,
It's,
yeah,
which
Now
isn't to
you gotta
say it's
do this.
worse,
Now you have to do a social
but
media
it is to
grind,
say.
and you have to put more time in social
Yeah,
media than actual music.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And
It's
it's
not like it'd be one thing if it was like, oh, now you've got to stand in front of a camera and talk. No, now it's like, now you've got to do even more sitting and typing and clicking than before. Because it's not like you didn't have to before. There was already a bunch of that. Now it's just like twice as much. So
yeah.
whatever, you know, it it's gotta. For me, I just can't stop doing. Like, I just can't stop like bothering all everyone I know about. Like, yeah, okay, remember that thing we started? Let's start that. Let's do that again. Like, I don't realize I do it, but
yeah.
it's making less and less sense to like do it, which is what I think is kind of interesting about it. Like, we do it
What?
even though it doesn't make sense,
Yeah. Oh,
that kind
that's
of
it.
proves its value.
Yeah.
It's just now it just doesn't have a logistic or economic value, but it still has an emotional and even physical value. It's still something that we all desire to do.
Hey,
It's just very hard to live as a musician full time now.
You're right. I can attest to that. What I will say though, in terms of things like, posterity and contributing to society and what have you, you know, I don't I mean, I haven't heard of any archaeological evidence of like any prehistoric tribes or any ancient civilizations, circling the wagons, so to speak, to protect the accountants and the middle managers of the tribe. It's always like the shaman and the people who like do weird visions and tell stories and you know can sing crazy. So I'm just saying, you can put all that effort into being a really great spreadsheets master, but like I don't know if you're probably not going to get triage when nuclear war comes. Sorry. So I don't really. I'm just saying, economically speaking, never been a worse time to do music, but like the worse things get in the world, the more important every artist is going to be because everyone who thinks that all this shit just grows on trees, by which I mean like comes from Hollywood, you know, like they're not going to be able to make anything new. They're not going to be able to make movies. They're not going to be able to recreate Shakespeare from memory. But all the fucking weirdos who are, alienating everyone in their neighborhood because they won't stop yelling in their room, quoting Shakespeare, those people are going to be really important.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's an illustration. I'm not making predictions. I'm just saying there's a lot of very long-term value to the obsession with art, I think, that's proven itself in ways, that may not be too obvious.
I find that
animal fun.
the more stressed I actually am, the more of a need I have to go and just jam an instrument or go and make some music in some way and just kind of release from the world. Just get that. I use
Yeah,
music in a
that's
sense of
human.
meditation.
That's not you being a weirdo.
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's not you being some sort of like,
I mean, I
oh,
am a
you're some
weirdo.
particular person and you need to find. Well, yeah, but that's like everyone. That's my point. Is like the default state
Everyone's
of
a weirdo.
people is like weird because we haven't found some platonic ideal for like an equilibrium or whatever yet. Like we're still like evolving, not like spiritually or whatever, but like physiologically, we're still like not quite elite. Like we're pretty good in terms of where we sit in the food chain. Like I would say we deserve to be here, all things considered, all mistakes made, just by the stats, we look like we'd be on top because of our brains. But that doesn't mean that like, oh, we did it, so now it's like, now it's just plateau time. Like,
Yeah.
it's what am I getting at here? I was gonna get the human thing right. Uh nobody is being distracted when they have these therapeutic habits like you're talking about, like when people find catharsis in music, it's not because like, oh, I'm doing this instead of like, I should be
Yeah.
making myself physically more fit or whatever. It's like, no, like that's like a part of like that. It's all as good as anything else,
It's all encompassing.
Yeah.
like. And
Like,
I'll even say something controversial, and it's not because like
Do it.
I mean, even if you just do a bunch of incredibly destructive drugs, that's as valid as anything else, technically, because there's no inherent value to being healthy. But that's philosophy, and we're not. This isn't a
That's
philosophy podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
an
okay.
anything podcast right now.
Okay, I'm just saying, like that. What you're talking about is a good thing, and it's a cult. That's something that I think like will help us push forward into like instead of trying desperately to conserve and hold on to very what's the word I'm looking for, well, just failing modes of operation, modus operandi, in terms of the way we do things in society, which sounds very vague and pretentious, but I literally just mean like the versions of exchange that we all agree to with each other,
Okay.
like and how we communicate and blah blah blah, that kind of stuff, like that can all just mechanically be more advanced, and that doesn't, it's not like we need to have some enlightenment or anything. It just comes from saying like, hey, instead of thinking my kid is an idiot and like they have to be treated like an idiot, maybe let's just throw knowledge at people, and wow, wouldn't you know it, they could usually people could handle it pretty well after the initial period of getting over the cognitive dissonance and all that. Like
Yeah.
people are honestly smarter than you might think. So
People are smarter than what
that's
they
part of
give.
it. Yeah.
All right. I
Yeah,
think.
and this is all part of it, like expressing ourselves through art is part of that. It's not that like art is inherently some sort of higher version of communication, but I think it's a manifestation of us as just as just animals, us being capable of reaching out to something. Right now it's just vague and grasping at air, but like the point is we're reaching, and eventually it'll connect to something or get to, who knows, it doesn't matter. But like the only way anything else got anywhere is because it just kept doing stuff, in terms of evolution. So that's how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how it fits into some narrative of well, does this seem like it would, like, is this part, does this feel like the typical hero's journey I'm used to, that I feel like humanity should be on? Like, no, it doesn't. There is nothing like that. It's just like whatever's gonna work is gonna work.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if that
Definitely.
means,
Yeah.
yeah, and if that means we spend a couple million years fucking around with art and bizarre artistic expression, and that's what it takes for us to finally get to something next, whatever the next thing is that actually becomes a real tangible thing for us, then yeah, that it was good, that it was worth it, more than feeling guilty about doing that kind of shit and like feeling like, oh, I'm wasting time getting involved
Yeah.
in these personal expressions when I should be quote unquote self-improving or self-actualizing vis-a-vis fucking some advice someone else gave you because they like crunching fitness numbers,
Mm,
like
yeah.
you get my point.
Yeah.
you know
Oh, good point, man. That's just a good point. I entirely agree.
yeah, the mess is the reward, because that's how we learn. That's not a
Mm.
very profound thing to say, but
It's
usually people
profound.
try to tie
No,
it
it
into
is.
spirituality.
See, the thing that I find is that it's not a lack of intelligence, but more of a lack of confidence. And people, they
Yeah.
don't aren't necessarily stupid, but a lot of people will tell themselves they are because they can't or they don't perceive
Because
themselves to
other
be
people
able.
tell them they are.
Well, possibly, but they judge themselves by comparison
Well,
to what they think they should
by
be
other
at.
people, I just mean like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's people who have incentive to make you feel stupid by
No,
advertising to
for
you as
sure.
if you're stupid.
But if you're
So that's what I
confident,
mean, and
then like if you're really
that's
confident, then it
Mhm.
doesn't matter what they're gonna say to you. You're just gonna par it off and be like, "Well, I'm gonna do my own thing anyway," because that's what kind of weirdo I am. And like you'll see that with
Yeah,
older
I
people
think
trying to learn
everyone
music.
deserves that confidence.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
you can't give someone that confidence. They got to find it. It's yours to take. And that's what I find when I like show people like learning music, especially at an older age. They will be more hesitant because they don't want to make mistakes. They feel like the mistakes make them wrong and they're stupid and they can't do
Hmm.
it. But that's what I have that you try to teach is that you're gonna make mistakes even if you've played for 10 years. You gotta overcome that because that's just part of it.
Yeah, and the reason that we got here is because people made mistakes that they decided to just push further, you know? Like the whole reason we have rock music at all is because someone discovered overdrive and distortion and decided, hey, instead of treating this like something I need to immediately remedy and never have happen again
Yeah.
at all costs, let's go the other direction and see what I can do with this, you know?
Work with, not against.
You know, yeah, and we take that for granted now because it's just a part of our lives ever since we've been born, you know. But like, someone had to make that decision, probably at the scorn and mockery of their friends that they respect and that they wanted the respect of, you know.
Yeah.
People probably told him it sounds like shit and it's stupid, and but now, like, fucking Hans Zimmer is doing it, you know, on stage in front of everyone, like, and that's considered like sophisticated to, you know, your everyday idiot. Hans Zimmer is one of my favorite composers ever. I'm just saying, people who think classical music equals movie soundtracks are
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge
Yeah.
Zimmer fan, but I'm also a fan of actual
Yeah.
classical music. There is the
Well,
distinction.
yeah, Zimmer is very straightforward, and that's why
Yeah,
I like him. I'm just saying, you know,
yeah.
like, you get
It's
the actual
focused
point is
on.
that
I'd say it's more focused
making a
on
mistake
textures than
became a
composition.
standard. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's good. That's like a good thing. That's what I think movie soundtracks needed at the time. And that's why
Yeah.
everyone started ripping him off, you know, as a composer, you know, cuz like they realized like holy shit, we should have been doing this. We had all these generic motifs we were just doing over and over again because everyone was doing them. And then here comes Hans with these big boom boom and it's so simple, you know. So whatever, you know. It's there's no rules, you know. It's sort of like the innate premise of skin trippery, to tie it back to that like it there never were any rules. Always could have done something this simple, and you always could have told people that you liked something that you think
Good.
is perceived as stupid. It doesn't matter. But now I'm just going to tell you that you can do that, and also I'm going to beat up anyone who wants to argue with either of us about it. That's why it's slam, you know. It
Yeah.
has to be as tough as possible because
Yeah.
it has to be like, all right, this isn't just some, you know, these aren't some like angry dweebs, you know, coming from Reddit. Like, no, these are like guys who listen to Throwdown and Bury Your Dead, who also just happen to like dog soldiers and you know,
Yeah.
whatever, Rain of Fire and
So I've got to ask,
so yeah.
when a skin stripper going to go out with party cannon? Then I saw you on stage. I saw you that picture.
Oh wait, with who?
Party cannon.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
we have to prove ourselves as I need a drummer first. But yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
got
I want to do that. And that's an obvious pairing, but they've put a lot of work into establishing themselves, so they're kind of at the level where it's like, yeah, if we want to, now we're like investing a decent amount to going out, so we can only take out bands who already have a draw. So,
yeah.
and we
It's
don't.
hard.
We played open mics with no one but me and an iPad and a guitarist.
That's
So,
brilliant. That's brilliant.
whatever.
So do you do
I
all
don't
the
blame anyone
vocals?
for like,
Are you the
yeah, I
vocal
just
guy?
do my vocals right now. Like, yeah, I'm doing all the vocals. I help compose and that, like, I'll like, I have some leftover riffs that I throw John's way, and he does most of the structuring, and we work it out together. But he does all the playing and all the drum programming and everything.
No.
I do the big picture stuff. The themes, the
Yeah.
what's this gimmick gonna be, all that kind of crap. All the visual stuff is me.
Do you play guitar and stuff, or is it like
No, I
no?
tried learning guitar, and then I got a GameCube, and well, one thing was more immediately rewarding. This was sixth grade, so yeah, I got like immediate gratification from, uh, like
The
Metroid
GameCube.
Prime or whatever I got. No, it was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. Immediate gratification from that. Nothing from sucking at guitar as a sixth grader. So that didn't go anywhere. But I did, over the years, learned a little bit about theory, a little bit about writing in general, and
Hey, you are
so I ended up
another.
just collaborating with
Right.
people, and that's how I
You
that's
try.
how I do it.
You try guitar, and you are a guitarist.
Okay, sure, yeah, okay.
Yeah, sure.
I
Fuck you.
mean, that's how I feel about guitarists anyway, so sure. They're everywhere
Exactly.
anyway.
I started when I was 4, man, and then like I got to like I think it was 17, 18, and I was like, all right, I'll play a bit of bass. And then when we were doing the end of college, I was like, I want to play drums. I've never hit shit before. So I just started randomly hitting shit. We just
Hey,
noise.
that's fun. I'm about to get a fucking modular synth and start just making
Yes.
slow ass ambient music where it's just like, here's one note. All right, now I remembered the next one I was gonna play.
Have
Five,
you?
10 seconds later, but there's a delay, so no one noticed that I
Yeah,
forgot.
for
You know,
sure.
You're
Have
gonna be
you
the next Brian
heard
Eno.
of
yeah, or
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Riz Ross, Sugar Ross,
Oh yes,
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Rock,
Sigur Ross.
Sugar Rays.
you know, they're the one of them.
You
Either
know
one.
the guy from Sigur Ross actually he did a separate project and he composed this like hour-long orchestra of minimalist orchestral ambient music, and it is stunning, it is beautiful, but it is incredibly slow. And for if you play orchestral instruments, that's actually very hard to achieve very long
Oh,
slow legatos.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, because you can hear your arm trembling,
Yeah, you
you
can
know.
hear
Yeah,
the
yeah,
buzz, like everything.
Yeah,
It's and
yeah,
like it's a performer's
yeah,
nightmare to play this stuff, but the actual
yeah,
performance was flawless. They nailed it. But if you're sustaining the same note for
yeah.
like
Probably
2 minutes
sounds.
straight, then
Yeah.
that's gonna be like mentally
See, I
painful
listen
for
to
you.
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I love listening to the fuck out of that kind of music. Like one of my favorite bands is A Winged Victory for the Sullen. A Winged, listen to me. Whatever. I don't care. That's how I read it in my mind. But anyway, A Winged Victory for the Sullen, which is Stars of the Lid. It's members of Stars of the Lid. Someone from Stars of the Lid is involved, and a bunch of other British people. And it's sort of like what you're talking about. But it's all about somber piano. And yeah, I never think about that while I listen to it. I do think about the fact that, like, wow, this is probably boring to like learn. This probably sucks to learn, but you don't have to learn it. You can just read it off the page, I guess.
Yeah.
So whatever. But still, I love listening to that stuff. So, sorry to anyone in the future who's listening to this in like a court deposition later and like who worked with me as a live string musician who was like, he said, because I don't plan on doing that with real musicians, but hey, I don't know. If I do, sorry. Also, I hope everything worked out for us as humans.
Time capsule sealed.
Oh god, that was good shit. All right, what's going on? You want to listen to some? You want to listen to some of yours?
Are we good to play one of your tracks?
Hell yeah, totally. Did you have specific things in mind?
Well,
that you wanted like a spiel on?
I thought because it's the most recent, maybe Skin Stripper, because that's also active.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of things happening right now with that.
All right, do you want to do the new single, "The Die for Darkseid"? Or the latest single last year?
Yes, with my good friend James Martin from Aegeon on guest vocals.
No way has he come back for you to do this.
He's been back. They're doing their new album right now.
What, dude?
I mean, not vocals, but they're still tracking instrumentals. But yeah, there's a new Aegeon coming out.
I didn't know he was about. That was what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, he came back on the last one, Age. James Martin, great friend. Always a very encouraging spirit. That guy, love him.
Because he was back on Age. Like, for some reason, I thought Julian was still doing like.
They sound very similar, which is fine. I think that's like a part of the draw of Aegeon is that they have a unique sound. So it's like if you do vocals for them, then it's like you get your chance to like. It's like try an opera as a vocalist or whatever. It's like, ooh, I want to do this one. It's like, ooh, I get to sing Aegeon.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, but yeah, James is back. He did the part of the dark side Uxas voice. It's supposed to represent dark side, but also the lyrics are just written from the first person perspective of me ranting about issues I have with the management at Warner Brothers Studios. And listen. They've made some decisions that I, as a emotional and psychic shareholder, not a financial shareholder, but as an emotionally invested shareholder, I take severe issue with. Listen, I won't be the first person to say these things, but I will advocate for them nonetheless. Humanity has lost its way in regards to Warner Brothers' handling of DC properties. Thank you. Thank you. No further question.
Thank you and good night. That was the end of the podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, let's have.
Oh my god,
we're going for it.
Hell yeah.
I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust.
All right. I
Okay.
just noticed the artwork for your EP involves the Batman. Is this
Well, these
why
are all
this
teaser artworks, but yeah. The
so
new EP has unreleased artwork that has not been revealed yet. So I've been teasing all the singles with specific little things like that. But yeah, the Batman,
the
the
Batman, yeah.
Batfleck in
Yeah.
particular. I do support Battinson, Robat Battenbat, as the great Weekly Planet podcast calls him, but my Batman is Batfleck.
Affleck. I like that.
Batfleck. All right.
And if I ever meet Ben Affleck, the first thing I'll ask is like, all right, why didn't you strangle Harvey Weinstein every time you ever saw him in person? I'll ask him that. I'll be like, listen, why didn't you beat him to death with your bare hands every time? I mean, you can't do that more than one time, but still. Nonetheless, though, that Batman is the Batman for me.
Okay.
There's a lot of
JJ,
specific reasons,
If you were a character in the new Batman movie coming out in, let's say, 2025, which character would you be?
Never really thought of who I would be in it. I just always thought of what I would do if I directed it. But who would I be?
They're in it.
No, I like to. Okay, no, it'd have to be Nigma. Yeah, like not cool. Well, we already have a Riddler in the Battinson version. Damn it. And he's better than the one I would play. Fuck. All right. Well, and we already have Barry Cogan as Joker. Those are the two guys who mainly run off ego, and that's the only villains. No, I don't know. There's got to be someone similar that I'm not thinking of immediately. There's a lot of. That's the problem. There's too many good Batman characters besides Batman, so I never think about them individually because I love them all together as a menagerie. Because I'm like that.
They're like anti-ego, but he's got an ego. Yeah.
Wait, who?
Alfred.
You cut out Alfred. Well, no, Alfred. There's so many different ways to play Alfred, though. That's what's so.
Yeah.
Because you can do military Alfred, like a circus. You can do like older boyfriend who's constantly scolding you, Alfred, like Mike or fucking what's his name in BVS and Justice League. Why am I forgetting his name? It's funny because he's also pretty homophobic, but he was in Dungeons and Dragons. That's his big shame. You know who I'm talking about.
No.
And he plays Scar. He does the voice of Scar in Lion King.
What is this?
He plays Alfred in I could Google it, but I'm holding a beer right now.
I'm gonna Google
You could
it.
try.
Hold up.
Not Sam Worthington. God, how am I remembering Sam Worthington and forgetting this iconic actor? Wow, what is wrong? Anyway,
You're up
there's a
there.
lot of different dynamics. You could do old grandpa Alfred, who's like always on his deathbed, like in
Was
the
it Jeremy Irons?
Tim Burton movies. Jeremy Irons, yes. I wanted to say
Oh.
Michael Ironside, who I also love. He's also a better person than Jeremy Irons, I think.
From what you
But
know.
yeah. Well, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, Ironside has played a bunch of heroes and okay, whatever. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Alfred, or you could do Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Yeah.
Just playing Michael Caine, So that's what's cool about Alfred. There's no one way.
Like,
But I would want to do a character that has like a
you'd be the
defined archetype that people know.
You'd be the first Alfred who is also a Florida man. That would be your spin.
Ooh, there's an angle. Yeah, American Alfred. That's what we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Florida.
We got Kiwi Alfred. We got okay, not Kiwi. I guess that's a more specific thing, isn't it?
No, I mean people call Kiwis in New Zealand. That's what they call each other.
Does it press me 2 years ago, and I never thought anything else about it. But anyway, sorry for that addition to this horrible stereotype. Adding Lord of the Rings to it. That's our world. I'm sorry.
Hey, mate.
That's where we're at right now. There's nothing else right now.
Everyone over here loves Lord of the Rings. We're very well. The people here are very passionate about Lord of the Rings.
Okay, great, good. I am too. I just don't want to patronize anybody. But
Florida man patronizing.
what was I gonna say? I was circling onto something. Alfred. We're talking about we got a Kiwi, God damn it, I did it again. We got New Zealander Alfred. We got British, another British, a third British. Fucking Sean Bean. No, wait, it wasn't Sean Bean. Was it? Who was it in the show?
Always that guy, right?
Oh, we were so off topic, but I guess there is no topic. But anyway, Alfred. Yeah, I don't want to play Alfred. Why are we talking about Alfred? Me in Batman. I gotta close in on it now or forever hold our peace.
You'll find it.
I'm only thinking of other members of the Justice League. I can't not sorry, my megalomania is too strong. I can't.
Do you think you'll be a good
I can't
guy?
see myself as opposite someone else.
I am the megalodon brain. Oh shit, that's funny, man. That's funny. You good?
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd make a good Joker, but everyone could make a good Joker. That's not true.
It's not true.
Lots of people made pretty bad Jokers.
Yeah.
You could do that, actually. I could imagine you making your hair green and rocking up to a costume party as the Joker.
Well, I'm just gonna say there's when the actual full-length album cycle comes around, I'm a part of the Skin Stripper I haven't this is a weird thing to say because it's something you want to just show and then have other people point out. But to relate to what you're saying is I'm actually a part of the Skin Stripper gimmick is going to be I'm just going to use it as an excuse to just do cosplay that I've wanted to do over the years, but I could never afford to go to conventions or anything, and none of the bands I was in ever would have allowed that. So now it's just there's nothing no one's gonna veto this, and there's no other place. So fuck it, I'm just gonna get on stage dressed like death metal Superman or whatever. So that's actually what you're talking about. Who knows? You might see something. I mean, I may have a replica of a jacket from one one of the Jokers. Who knows which one though?
You
Me,
never know.
I do.
No, you don't.
Mm.
You're lying.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. You want to know why I do?
Why?
Yeah, because I'm the one who bought it.
No.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
bought it.
yeah.
I want
Oh,
the receipt. Show me that
oh,
receipt.
I did it. It was me. Yeah,
Where's
you
the
can
receipt?
do that now.
Where is it? Where's the receipt though? Where's the
It's
receipt?
online. It's
Well,
online.
what
That's
I
how they
want,
do it now. Receipts are online now.
I want CCTV footage of you going. Bought it. I want it. Where is it?
All right, hang on. We have to figure out time travel first, so I'll get back to you.
I'll be back. I've seen
We'll
it.
circle
I've
back
seen
to
it.
this. Yeah.
That'll be in the next.
Oh yeah, I remember.
The next time we bring
Yeah,
you
because
back
I remember
on,
to do
we'll get the
everything.
time
Yeah,
travel
Bill and
machine.
Ted logic. There we go. Yeah,
Oh god.
do a progress report.
Oh man, that's good shit.
I think I had
Well-
talked. I think I may have promoted like one half of a thing.
We strip skin.
Hey, that's cool. I mean, we're in the factory right now, putting everything in the oven right now. So, you know, all the big fancy is gonna come real soon. 2023 is when I'm gonna execute a lot of ideas that I've been sitting on, you know, and it's not to say like, oh, it's gonna blow your mind, but it's like, you know, it's the year where it's like, all right, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is here so I can establish that there's a thing happening.
In,
So that's what it is. That's
in
what
strip
it is.
is
You know,
great.
there's a plan.
I'm up for this.
There's a plan.
This.
Do you already have any
If
live
you like what you heard already,
performances?
you're gonna get more of that. Just better songwriting because we're spending more time on it. And you know,
Are you gonna be
structure
preparing
of
for
it.
a tour, or is that like later on?
I'm later on in the year in terms of like real touring where it's like more than just like up a coast, you know. But right now the only plan is because we have some music video stuff up in the Northeast relatively soon. So there's going to be live activity up the East Coast around that time period.
Nice.
Which I want to
fun.
say is like, you know, March, April-ish, whatever, as it starts to warm up there, so I don't have to deal with that.
Can't take the cold. You wuss.
I mean, I could, I just don't want to. I don't have to, and I don't want to.
Yeah, fuck it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Fuck it.
Listen, this is our world for a little bit longer.
Oh god, that's it.
All right, well, JJ.
Is
Nekroí.
Nekroí? Is that a thing you're still going to come back around to? Do you reckon?
There are some demos that are currently being refined and, you know, made. The standards for Nekroí are like higher than anything else. Like
Right.
Skin Stripper, it's like I just gotta make sure I'm proud of it. Nekroí, it's like this has to like represent everybody.
Yeah.
Into like the next million years, well after we're dead, and we can't like people can't find it and be like, oh, this is cringe. You know, that's Nekroí. So yeah, so like that's like a fuckload of thought and work. So that's like, yes, it exists. There is new Nekroí music technically. It's just, you know, that shit takes time. Like that shit takes time.
The first,
there's no way around
the
it.
first release 2018. I forget.
19?
2019.
2019.
Yeah. And the pandemic hit us real hard. Like we really got taken off the tracks because we were already, you know, like all through that album cycle, and then the pandemic hit, and then it was like, all right, well, all plans are gone and all momentum was gone, and then all of us sort of had to restructure our
Right.
lives, you know. So yeah, the Necrothea is something where it's either all of us or it, it just doesn't quite have the same magic. Like it sounds like it does because it's us doing it together. It's not one person doing the whole thing.
No,
And I don't want it to be that. But yeah, which is to say I'm picky, so I'm holding it up.
that's your fault.
I guess.
Fuck it.
No, that's not true. Everyone is.
No,
But yeah, Skin Stripper though. Skin Stripper, we don't give a shit about our fans. We don't care if you like it or not. If you don't like it, good. That's probably just more evidence as to why we put in more effort to understanding art than you did. So, live your life. But
Yeah.
no, Skin Stripper is just easier on purpose, but because it's for fun, and there's gonna be a lot of fun to be had. A lot of I want to get into doing like rap shows because we did some on that open mic tour, and they went over really well with people who are actually like at a place to have fun and not to just like show off how smart they are because of the shirt they're wearing. So
I hear something funny. I don't know if you're like, do you know Pupil Slicer at all?
not personally, but I know them and their music. I know of them and I know their music. Yeah.
I played guitar for them in 2019, and like we did like 3 shows and a couple shows in a row, and that ended up playing a rap show.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, that's literally the perfect connection to what you were just saying, man. It was so weird, dude. Like it was fun. It was just really strange. Like
It's just it's more positive. It's more fun. I don't know. At least for I don't know if it would be that way for like dorky ass technical music like Nekroí
no,
or whatever. But like Skin Stripper, it's all in 4 except when it's not. But like it's supposed to be in 4. But anyway, like it's shit that you can just hit. Like there's not a bunch of dissonant guitar shit going on.
no.
Like the structures aren't all confusing. Like you can tell, like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the breakdown, this is the refrain, this is the sing along. Like that's all on purpose because I'm tired of playing shows where it's like I have to like explain what we just did after the set's over.
Yeah. Sure, that makes sense.
Not to say I don't like playing that music. I love it. It's the best music in the universe to listen to and to make and to play. But it's nice when people like smile at your shows.
Oh yeah,
That's about all I have to say about that, really. Anyway, this is your daily episode of Navel Gazing Daily.
Navel.
Thank you, everybody.
Navel gazing. Nice. I gotta say, this.
Does anyone say that anymore?
What, navel gazing?
Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say it.
We're. Oh, okay. Maybe that's like a thing that like parents say. I'm not a parent, but my parents said it. But it's basically like, just rambling about your own deep thoughts, Yes, I am. The other day I was thinking about yes, and the other day, and then I thought about this. That's navel gazing,
I am the navel gazing.
Which is basically what I've been doing, yeah.
I love it.
It's been great.
We love a good navel gaze over here, definitely.
Hey. Yeah. Well, then I love you.
Hey, share the love,
all
guys.
love, JJ.
Hey.
All right.
Someone somewhere said it's magic. I think it was Christopher Nolan in Interstellar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
never believe it's not so. Magic.
Yeah, Tom's actually about to release a full cover of that song in the coming year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
yeah.
to that
Well,
one. That's
yeah.
hype.
Good.
Fuck that, shut up.
You can you can get on Ellen DeGeneres with Michael
Oh
Bublé.
yeah,
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you
oh,
remember like
let's
they
do it.
used to do
That's still
they
a
used
thing,
to
right?
Do you want to come with me?
Those two people are still real.
remember they used to do them hit CDs every year. Like
Oh,
this
yeah,
is 2012 and this is 1999. Just like this catalog of all their major
now.
pop songs.
And it
Yeah,
worked.
now. Yeah,
It
that's
worked.
what we've got to be going for. We need Skin Stripper on This Is 2023 now. Why is no
See,
one creating
you joke about
this
that.
this is death metal 2023? Where's that CD, man?
You joke about that, but like some of the
I'm not.
some of the gimmicks and some of the like not scams. I'm not going to call them a scam because it's a joke. So it's okay. But
Yeah,
are, pretty close to that. Like, look, I can't say it now because it's like opening Pandora's box and I want to keep it to myself, but like the album title for our full length, I'm very excited about. It's like it's equally like it's like a Faustian bargain, It's gonna
wow.
be something where like we're going to get equal amounts of reaping a reward, but it's also going to do a huge amount of damage, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, you're looking.
We're gonna be a deep target for a lot of angry people. A lot of angry people who really love to go to like music festivals that are sponsored by like
Rockstar.
Harley Davidson and Republican candidates and shit like that. um how do I like how do you describe Metallica fans?
Oh my god. Saint Anger.
I'm sorry. I had a moment where I said it's like I guess that's like describing Star Wars fans at this point. Everybody likes Metallica. Even I do, even though I don't.
When you go to a
Whatever.
hardcore gig, when you go to a hardcore gig and you see them kids kicking in the circle, and it's always the same bunch. They're the type of people who, yeah, they show up to kick a hardcore gig, but they also go home and listen to Metallica in bed. They're the kickers at the show. They're not really there because they love it. They love Metallica.
Probably.
I don't know. Here, the
Because
people who
everyone
are
loved. No,
those are the push moshers. All the mainstream radio dudes are the push moshers over here. They're all the like they hate hardcore dancers. The hardcore dancers are all the kids who are like, oh my god, check out my boundaries pullover. I don't fucking know what bands these people listen to. Trapped Under Ice, are they back? Yeah, they're back.
Body Snatchers.
Well, yeah, or yeah, I mean, I like Body Snatcher.
I love Body
Okay, no, I like Kyle. I don't know what Body Snatcher sounds like, but I love Kyle.
Unbelievable. You love the guy, but you don't love the band. Look at you, a bad friend, bad fan.
That's not true. I have listened to Body Snatcher, but that joke wouldn't have worked as well if I said I've only slightly. Anyway, but
God damn it.
Yeah, whatever. We all make sacrifices for the art. Sometimes the truth is on the chopping block. All right. What are we on? What are we talking? What's our heading? Oh, cool.
Oh man.
Well, at this point, we've kind of touched ground on a lot of subjects. We've gone over the selection of music that you've written. we've gone over your participation in the anti-Warner Brothers movement, and we've also
My very fair weather participation in that. I'm ditching as soon as it becomes a liability. Just
You
know.
know we're gonna get.
okay.
You know we are.
No, mate, no. You gotta find
No.
some way to do. Just put in some weird glitches in the parts where you hear the clips from the movies and the song. You'll be fine. You know,
Alright.
whatever. I'll
Warner
if,
Bros. Are
if
going to be
I'm
coming
slurring
after
enough,
us now.
their AI won't catch the transcript.
How could they not? They're Warner Brothers. They're everywhere. They're gonna touch you and find your what the fuck am I trying to get? I don't know. Royalties.
They own the
That one.
entertainment industry.
They're gonna make you stop. Hang on, I should come up with this joke beforehand. They're gonna make you stop blank doing something. Insert particular thing here in order to make their quarterly bonuses. Okay, there's the joke. Fucking, it's out. It's done. Whatever. I don't have to think about it anymore.
I appreciate you. You did it.
Thanks. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Always there, ready for the joke, my friend. Always there.
All I'm saying is I fully support Zack Snyder in everything, and I'm not gonna watch. Well, nothing's been announced yet, but I'm not gonna watch blank,
I'm gonna watch
but
it.
I will watch Rebel Moon. So that's on the record.
That's it.
Don't you worry about blank. You let me worry about blank.
Because I'm not gonna watch blank.
Precisely.
Well,
But yeah,
I'm gonna say that whenever the new skin stripper does get
Wherever.
released, whenever, then
all right. I'm gonna say this now because it doesn't matter. But we are planning on dropping this new EP on March 13th.
okay,
Whatever the
cool.
anniversary of the Snyder Cut is. But yeah, it's gonna be like 5 or 6 songs.
Love it.
Very brand new, except for the songs that are covers. But the covers are very audacious, and I'm very excited about that too. So
the
whatever.